Hi guys, my name is Amanda and today I'm going to be talking to y'all about Cedar Waxwings, aka Bombacillus cedarum. Cedar waxwings, like the other vertebrates we learned thus far, are going to be within the kingdom Animalia and the phylum Chordata. Unlike previous taxa though, cedar waxwings are within the class Aves in the order Passeriformes and the family Bombacillidae, the genus Bombacilla, specifically Bombacillus cedarum. And as you can see from the map on the right, they're going to have a very extensive range with year-round prevalence as far north as southern British Columbia and as far south as the southern tip of the Appalachian Mountains. So cedar waxwings are going to be easily identifiable by their airbrushed appearance, their smooth gray-brown feathers, their flat crest, black mask, yellow-tipped rectrices, which are your tail feathers, and as their name accurately describes, you're going to have red wax-like droplets on the tips of their secondaries. So their call, on the other hand, is going to be less identifiable, and it's going to be characterized by shrill whistles and trills. So these birds are going to be notorious inhabitants of open woodlands, specifically those that are abundant in fruiting trees and running water for feeding and bathing. In urban environments, however, they're going to be frequenting open parks, cemeteries, and golf courses, but they're also going to be found in farms and orchards of more rural locations. Overall, they're going to be more prone to select locations based upon fruit availability, as fruit constitutes roughly 85% of their diet. So as previously mentioned, cedar waxwings are going to be an obligatory frugivorous species, meaning they primarily survive off of fruit consumption alone. Their summer diet is going to consist of mostly serviceberry, strawberry, mulberry, and dogwood. Their winter diet is going to be composed primarily of mistletoe, cedar, and hawthorn fruits. But being a fruit-eating bird, their diet is going to be high in these sugars and lacking in crude protein, but they supplement this protein in their diet via insect and pollen consumption, which are both high in protein. Outside of the competitive breeding season, these birds are going to be seen feeding in large flocks, which is going to be attributed to their social nature. Since these birds are going to be highly social nearly year-round, they're also going to be relatively non-territorial, as rigid defense of a territory would result in frequent interspecific feuds. They're almost always seen in large flocks where they're going to be foraging and bathing together. And in terms of migration, they're also very relaxed on this front, moving nomadically in response to food availability. The mating window for cedar waxwings is going to fall roughly between late spring and late summer. In order to find a mate, the males are going to put on quite a show for the females, and if she's interested, she reciprocates. Together, they're going to perform a hopping dance, as seen in this first video. They're also going to be seen performing a gift exchange of fruits, twigs, things in that nature, and that is exhibited in the second video. They're also going to partake in affectionate beak rubbing as another form of courting behavior. So once the mate has been secured and copulation has ensued, the female lays anywhere from 2 to 6 eggs in a nest that she's constructed with sticks and cushioning material within. These nest sites are going to be selected through the group effort of both the male and the female bird, typically atop of horizontal tree branches that are at least 3 meters above the ground. The females are usually going to rear 2 broods of altricial chicks throughout the breeding season, and the eggs are going to be then incubated for 11 to 13 days, and the young will then fledge the nest in roughly 14 to 18 days. Now, I thought I'd include some fun facts that I found very interesting about cedar waxwings. So while doing my research, I learned a really cool thing about the color of their rectrices, which, as we remember, are the tail feathers. So usually the tips of their tail feathers are this bright yellow, but research has found that they're orange in birds that are going to feed on red berries of an introduced honeysuckle. I'd have to look further into it, but I believe this might be due to the ingestion of carotenoids, that are going to be within the honeysuckle berries, and these carotenoids are a biochrome pigment that are responsible for the yellow, orange, and reds in feathers, and it's going to be a pigment that results from ingestion of foods containing carotenoids. I also thought it was cute that a flock of waxwings is called an earful. So that's all for today, folks. Thank you, and I hope you learned a little bit about cedar waxwings.